Welcome here to Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Brickyard 400 here in the Bass Pro Shops Cup Series Season 5. So we're getting set. It's an all-Turner Motorsports front row. How about that? Phil Jones is on the pole with Carter Kozlowski alongside. Third, Sean Henley. Outside row 2, Danny Wells. And rounding out your top 5 is Kyle Smith. 6th, Seth Cole. 7th, John Worry. 8th, Cole Freilich. 9th, Julian Ortiz. And rounding out your top 10, Timmy Pacioli. So now let's take a look at the rest of your starting lineup for today's race. 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st, 32nd, 33rd, 34th, 35th, 35th, 36th, 37th, 38th, 39th, 40th, 41st, and 42nd. Andrew Schwartz will round out the field. Alright, let's get these cars rolling off here with Phil Jones on the pole. As we are rolling off. So Phil Jones has not won yet this season. Carter Kozlowski has not either. So it'll be interesting to see how they do here today at Indianapolis. The most historic track that we are going to here in the Bass Pro Shops Cup Series. Eric Burton. Oh, what a heartbreaker there. Eric Burton already looks like he is done for the day, and it didn't even start. Oh, what a tough break. You gotta feel for him, but here we go, coming onto the front stretch. Phil Jones and Carter Kozlowski will lead the field to the green flag, and we're underway at Indianapolis. As we head into turn number 1, Sean Henley is already going to take second away from Carter Kozlowski. And it looks like we avoided trouble there. Let's make sure we stay clean through this area of the racetrack. And somehow we do. Turns 3 and 4 is always a very dangerous area. Remember, Kyle Smith in one of his first few races drove it off into turn 3 too quickly, got into Greg Jones, spun him around, and that ended up not being one of the greater times for Kyle Smith in his career. So we're getting many flybys here on the first lap, just making sure everybody is surviving this very difficult racetrack. Coming out of turn 4. And we survive lap 1 at Indy. Phil Jones leads him across the yard of bricks. Battle for third between Kyle Smith and Carter Kozlowski, two good friends. But Kyle Smith had to ease off the throttle there, and that's going to allow Danny Wells to go around him. For the rest of this lap, we're going to get a few more flybys because it seems like there's always been early chaos here at Indianapolis, and we're just going to make sure we're not going to have any more of that today. As Phil Jones, still out front, started on the pole and is still out front, but Henley is all over the back bumper of him. Watch back in this area because that's where the biggest pack is, and that's where we will probably see trouble if we see any early in the going. And we survive lap number 2. So Phil Jones out front of Sean Henley. Then third, Carter Kozlowski. Danny Wells has settled into 4th, and Kyle Smith has settled into the 5th position. Seeing a lot of single file early, but deep in the field, right around Courtney Simpson's position. This area right around here is starting to get a little bit tight. Actually, she's kind of gotten clear of the chaos. Is now behind them. Corey Williams on the outside. CJ Sorensen looks like he's going to get clear. Oh, look, Eric Burton back on the track. He is a lap down, though. Actually, he's not a lap down. At least I don't think so. So Phil Jones coming out at turn number 4 here at the historic Brickyard is out front. Sean Henley is all over the back bumper of him. Same with Danny Wells. Here he comes to the inside of Carter Kozlowski. This is Kyle Smith's opportunity to get around the 30. Kozlowski still up on the high side of the track. John Worry's going to go to the bottom of Kyle Smith. Kyle Smith probably should have made that move on Keselowski before John Worry could make that move on him. Looks like Julian Ortiz is going to get there as well, along with Evan Earnhardt. No, he's going to give Kyle a break here. And checking on the back of the pack, this could be trouble. John Dillon. This could be our first wreck of the day right here. John Dillon is 3 wide back here. Surprisingly, this little pack back here is able to hold steady, but look at Jacob Lawler. Lawler in the 34 is one of our championship contenders, but not having a championship performance here today. His teammate Phil Jones is out front, and one of his other teammates, Carter Keselowski, is now getting into the 3rd position. John Worry is in 5th, but he's going to make the move on Danny Wells for 4th, and he's going to tuck back in line. This is another good opportunity for Kyle Smith to get around John. Deep in the field, looking in here one more time. Gino Harvey, if he could win this race, it'd mean a lot to him, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do that, as he is 32nd, and it looks like we might have a caution-free race on our hands. Now, Indy has always had a lot of crashes whenever we've gone here in the Bass Pro Shops Cup Series. We've gone here twice, and both times it's pretty much been a wreck fest. Actually, I think we've been here all 3 seasons, or 3 seasons, I should say, just in general. Because we came here in Season 2, 3, 4, and now in Season 5, so... Phil Jones still out front in that 31 car. He started on the pole and has not looked back just yet. For a while there, he might have needed to look back, though, because Henley was on his rear bumper just a few laps ago. But now he is actually in danger of losing that 2nd position to Carter Keselowski. Remember at Watkins Glen earlier this year, Phil Jones and CJ Sorensen brought home a 1-2 finish at Watkins Glen. And that was CJ Sorensen winning the race. But could Phil Jones win the race today and have his teammate Carter Keselowski finish 2nd just behind him? But Henley still able to hold strong, and Danny Wells makes the move for the 3rd spot. Lap 7 of 16. I think we might just have a caution-free race here at the Brickyard. But Danny Wells is looking for more. Here he comes to the inside of Sean Henley. Henley's going to put the block on him. Kyle Smith makes the move on his good friend Carter Keselowski. That's for the 5th spot. Looks like he's going to take it, but Danny Wells on a mission. Here he comes to the inside. Not quite going to get there. Oh, but he moves Henley out of the way. Ford versus Chevy at the front of the field, and right now we've got Phil Jones in the Chevy out front, followed by the Ford of Danny Wells. The Chevy of Henley, but he's got pressure from John Worry. Worry is a championship contender. Will Kyle Smith make it 3 wide into turn 1? If you do that here at Indy, you're pretty much saying, I want to wreck. And this battle for the lead is starting to heat up. I'm telling you, Danny Wells is on a mission. All over the back bumper of Phil Jones. He's nearly pushing him. Look at this. Oh, John Worry, Kyle Smith. They duck out of line. Look at this long straightaway here at Indy. The irony of this is that Phil Jones had 2 opportunities. He got the call from Turner Motorsports to drive the 31 car, and he also got the call from Roush Fenway Racing to drive that number 6. Phil Jones went with Turner Motorsports and the Brandt team for the Season 5, and he is signed on with the 31 Brandt team for Season 6 as well. So Phil Jones trying to finish up his season strong. He's not necessarily in championship contention, but if he could win this race here today, I know that'd mean a lot to that 31 team. But there's been a little bit of a shakeup back here, because Henley and John Worry were battling, Carter Keselowski, Kyle Smith were battling, and now Seth Cole is starting to come into the picture with Brett Pavel not far behind. Look at this. The 4-time winner. Oh, Steven Dillon. That was tight. Pacioli is there as well. This battle could very well end in tears for these drivers. More specifically, Steven Dillon, as he's putting himself in more dangerous situations than either Freilich or Pacioli. Yes, Alright, taking a look here. So Galligan is up high. Is there anybody spinning in front? Oh yeah, this is already happening. Oh, Greg Jones got turned by Kurt Keselowski? No, Schwartz. Schwartz drove it in a bit deep. Greg Jones came down a little. And Greg gets sent. Hits the outside wall pretty hard. Then when he comes back down, this is where the real hits take place. Galligan T-bones him, then Garrett Jones hits him, and oh, Corey Williams T-bones that 60 of Greg Jones, sends him up in the air. Both Jones boys are involved in this crash. It's not a good day for those Jones boys, as they are, well, Greg is done for the day. It looks like Garrett Jones might be able to drive on from this, but unfortunately, a 4-car crash triggers the first caution of the day. Let's go back to the green, where we will probably have a green-white checkered. We're going to be restarting this race with just 2 laps remaining here at the Brickyard. Phil Jones is out front. Danny Wells, Sean Henley, John Worry, and Kyle Smith, the front 5. Then Carter Keselowski, Julian Ortiz, Seth Cole, Brett Pavel, and John Acosta, the top 10. This is where you're probably going to see Phil Jones try to maybe just kind of slowly bring them down, and then just before we go green, just punch the throttle and try to drive away from these guys. But I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do that without jumping the start and getting a penalty. So coming down, this long front straightaway, the historic Brickyard 400 is back underway. Phil Jones did exactly what we were talking about. He just kind of laid back until the green flag flew, and he just drove away. Now, if we can survive this first lap with no crashes, we'll be able to take this thing to the end without having a caution to end this race. Right there, that is the green flag. Here we go down the backstretch. If you see the white car, make a look to the inside. Expect Phil Jones to put the block on him. Danny Wells still just waiting to make that move. He doesn't want to make it too early because Phil Jones could put it right back to him. Coming to the white flag. Phil Jones left a little bit of bottom open there. Danny Wells tried to take an advantage of it, got a bit loose. Here we go. White flag at the Brickyard. The gloves come off. Phil Jones is out front. I don't know if Danny Wells is close enough anymore. He seems to be fading back. If he can't win it, Sean Henley might go at it. Henley's still being held up by Danny Wells, though, because Danny's starting to drive away. Here he comes. Making one last charge at Phil Jones down the backstretch. If he's going to make his move, he has to make it entering turn 4. Is probably the good area to make that. It's make it or break it time. Coming into the final 2 corners. Phil Jones has to navigate one more corner. And then the long front straightaway. Coming through turn 4, Phil Jones hasn't won since season 3 at Michigan. Danny Wells trying to hunt him down. He's not going to do it. Phil Jones is going to come down and win the historic Brickyard 400. What a race. Phil Jones led every single lap in this race and is going to go to victory lane. Unbelievable. That 31, Phil Jones, is going to kiss the bricks at the start-finish line, and he has won the Brickyard 400. Unbelievable. Amazing job by Phil Jones. Here are your finishing results. Phil Jones wins it. Danny Wells, Sean Henley, Kyle Smith, and John Worry, the top 5. Then Seth Cole, Julian Ortiz, Brett Pavel, Carter Keselowski, and John Acosta, the top 10. So Carter Keselowski, we thought there for a second it'd be a 1-2 for Turner Motorsports. He ended up 9th. Not the finish he was hoping for, but it's still a solid top 10 to help him out in the championship. So there's 1st through 28th, and the rest. So Corey Williams finishes last. Camshaft issue put Galligan out of the race after being involved in the crash. Phil Jones going to go celebrate with his team and then kiss the bricks. What a race we have seen today. And it's all about Phil Jones when they cross the start-finish line across the yard of bricks. Phil Jones, unbelievable job. He's going to go to victory lane and kiss the bricks. We will see you next week for round number 19.